So, does the guy who brought you Ted and Family Guy strike gold again with a million ways to die in the West? And is Maleficent as evil as we are led to believe? Stay tuned to find out. Hello, and welcome to another edition of El Magnifico at the Movies. Good evening, YouTube. And in this episode of El Magnifico at the Movies, I will try to review for you A Million Ways to Die in the West and Maleficent. So let's begin with A Million Ways to Die in the West. Now, I was looking forward to this movie a lot, not only because I'm a fan of Seth MacFarlane and what he did with the movie Ted, and of course with Family Guy now. Seth MacFarlane is the creator of Family Guy, and that's the voice of Peter Griffin, Stewie Griffin, and Quagmire, as well as Brian Griffin. And this was his directorial debut, I believe. He directed this movie. That's him right there. And I was really looking forward to this movie, not only because I love westerns and I'm a big fan of this guy, but it's a western comedy. It was supposed to be almost like Blazing Saddles. Remember that classic by Mel Brooks? Sadly, this movie fell flat from that. I still love the movie. Well, I like the movie a lot, and part of the problem that I had with the movie, and let me show you, this movie also stars this beautiful woman, gorgeous Charlize Theron, and it also stars Mr. Taken himself, Mr. Schindler himself, Mr. Liam Neeson stars in this movie. Now, let me tell you some of the things that I liked about this movie. I liked some of the jokes. Some of the jokes were terrific. I started laughing when this movie started. So right from the beginning, I was laughing. But I didn't guffaw. It wasn't laugh out loud type of funny. It was just, funny. Here's a chuckle here and there. But it had its funny moments. So some of that is great. The premise was great. Unfortunately, this is where the negatives come in. It wasn't executed properly. It had some, and this was almost like a new episode of Family Guy, because not only did Seth MacFarlane direct it, but he wrote the script and the story, but he also produced it, as well as some of the guys from the Family Guy show wrote it and produced it. So some of the jokes, if you love Family Guy, it's that type of humor, okay? But this movie didn't execute the Western comedy that great. They also wasted talent. Liam Neeson's character, even though he was supposed to be the bad guy, was pretty much one note. And then, of course, another starring role. Now, you might know this guy as Mr. Doogie Howser, and also Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, Mr. Neil Patrick Harris, NPH himself. He was totally a waste of talent for this movie. His dancing was great in the movie, but the character was not really necessary. So overall, I wish... I don't want to give a thumbs down, so I'm still going to give this movie a thumbs up, but it's more of a in between. Actually, in Flickster, I actually gave this movie 3 stars. So let's talk about the movie that I really, really, really enjoy, and that was Maleficent. Now, you've probably seen, and there's the poster for that. Now, this movie stars Angelina Jolie in the title character. Now, this is a different take. If you remember Maleficent from the Beauty and the Beast, the classic Disney movie Beauty and the Beast, you know how evil Maleficent was, and just to see her in that movie with the horns and how she turns into a dragon, it was fantastic in that movie. And I have to say, just Miss Jolie herself did a great job doing the character with what she was given. Now she also executive produced this movie, so I actually enjoyed this movie a lot. It's a different take on the character. It's a different take on the classic Sleeping Beauty story, and they tried to do they tried to give you a reason as to why Maleficent turned evil, and this what's the phrase? There's no hell as a woman scorn. Well, imagine if she had large horns and was a winged fairy. And that's what happened. This is what, the movie starts with little Maleficent as a young fairy that unfortunately meets this young boy, and they almost grow up together, but then because the boy, being a human, is greedy, of course, and they fall apart, and that's basically it. All of a sudden, he becomes, that's the main reason as to why, the story goes into more. I don't want to spoil the movie for you. Of course, I would never want to do that, but this movie is terrific. Great special effects all the way around. Terrific performances by Miss Angelina Jolie, as well by the young girl who plays Aurora, or Sleeping Beauty, Miss Elle Fanning, who did a great job smiling throughout the whole movie. There she is, up and comer talent. But yeah, this movie gets a thumb up. More enthusiastically than A Million Ways to Die in the West. This movie was fantastic. I enjoyed it. Take the kids, if you have kids, take the kids to see this movie, and you'll have great conversations as to why Maleficent turned evil. It's a different take from the classic Disney story of Sleeping Beauty. But I actually enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot. So again, I'm not a professional critic. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm telling you which movies I enjoy and which ones I don't, and which ones are. So go watch the movies. Make up your own mind. Remember, taste is subjective. So you may like movies that I don't like, and vice versa. So just go to the movies and make up your own mind. As always, thank you, AMC Theaters, for being so awesome. And till I see you again, this is El Magnifico saying, go watch a movie. May God bless you all. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Ciao. Quick correction, in Flickster, I gave A Million Ways to Die in the West 2.5 stars. And just as a matter of fact, I gave Maleficent 4 stars. So there you go. Ciao.